Hello and welcome to Health Inside and Out. My name is Fee Rye. I am a nutritionist, I'm a fitness professional and a lifestyle medicine practitioner. And today we are launching into Gut Instinct Part 2. So hopefully you had a listen to Part 1 and you have a little bit more insight into the microbiome. Because today we are going to have a look at how to optimize your microbiome for better health as we explore the science of resistant starch, the benefits of fermented foods, and how your daily habits can influence your gut health. Everything that I deliver on these podcasts is scientifically proven, evidence-based, and there will be references within the description if you want to go and have a look at more of the research that I'm referring to. So let's start with this resistant starch. It's a special type of carbohydrate that resists digestion in the small intestine, so it reaches the colon. So in our first part, we talked about the small intestine taking in the simple carbs, whereas the large intestine or the colon, they are terms that you can use interchangeably, is where all our bacteria live that are just thrive on good fiber. And so we need to get this resistant starch into our gut microbes because it's like a feast for them. So foods like green bananas, cooled rice, and cool potatoes too are actually excellent sources. And they not only support your gut health, but also help regulate your blood sugar and can actually promote some fat loss by increasing the amount of energy lost through your stool. Interesting stuff. We'll get into stools later, and I'm not talking about the type that you sit on. Diversity is another critical factor, and so just as a diverse garden would thrive with lots of plant species, a diverse diet supports a robust microbiome. We want lots of diversity because they all have different jobs to do. And when we include a variety of fibers from whole grains, legumes, fruits and vegetables, we really give it like a smorgasbord for it to choose from. And different varieties of those fibers will create different cultures. So if we aim for 30 different plant-based foods a week, that would be a great goal to enhance your microbiome diversity. How does that sound? 30 different varieties. Do you know what? It's not actually that hard. When you think about having at least your 2 fruits and 5 vegetables a day, that's 7. If you're adding in some rice, if you're adding in some quinoa, if you can increase that number from 5 to 7 or 10 even in a salad, not hard to do once you get going. So aiming for 30 different plant foods a week. That's what I'm going to challenge you to for 2025. Now I want to just touch on smoothies because smoothies are a great way to get in some nutrients into your body. However, because we are blending and pulverizing the fibers, that's not actually feeding our colon and the microbes in our colon because they've got nothing to break down. You've already done it for you. So I am a huge fan of smoothies. I have my protein smoothie after I do my workouts. I sometimes will add some blueberries or maybe a little bit of banana or something else to that, mainly for my brain, so that it's not completely worn out from the previous session. So do have your smoothies, but don't count those plants that you're throwing in there as your 30 varieties. Okay, so just have a think about how much you're throwing into your smoothie. The other area I am also very passionate about is fermented foods. In fact, I had to do a mini thesis on sauerkraut. I had to make it, I had to ferment it, I had to observe it, I had to report on it, and of course I had to eat it. So it was lots of fun. I had to make quite a few different varieties until I got the one that I loved the most. But sauerkraut is just one of the fermented foods because the live bacteria, it's so beneficial and it really, really does boost your gut microbes. Yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, they are all great choices. When you're looking at yogurts, try to avoid the ones that have got additional probiotics added into it just look at how many, they're called CFUs, how many colonies are in the yogurt that you're choosing. A good quality pot set Greek yogurt is probably my absolute go-to, because a lot of other yogurts will have sugar added, and the sugar is not good for our microbiome. It basically counteracts each other. So we're looking for a very plain pod set Greek yogurt, which is a great way to get some fermented food. Add it to your fruit salad. You can, I actually love Greek yogurt on my salads, just as an extra dressing with a bit of a squeeze of lime juice. Just think of ways that you can add that into your diet. A little bit of kimchi or sauerkraut on your salad or with your vegetables is highly nutritious, and your gut will love you for it. So, as I said, not all probiotics are created equal, and there are supplements out there, of course, which can be beneficial in some cases, but it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all. Fermented foods offer a bit of more of a safer and effective way to introduce beneficial bacteria into your system. And I say that because when you're adding variety, you're adding a variety to create that diversity in your microbiome. When you are having the same supplement day in, day out, you might be increasing one particular colony, but avoiding building up other colonies. And so supplements definitely have their place. However, don't rely on those for your probiotics. You really need to increase your fiber intake and have that diversity. I also want to talk about lifestyle, because your lifestyle does play a massive role in the health of your microbiome. Sleep, stress, and exercise will all impact that diversity and the function of your gut microbes. So if you prioritize a good sleep hygiene, or what does that even look like? That looks like no screen time for at least 30 minutes before bed. Start to wind down, whether it's a cup of valerian tea or something that helps you sleep. Huge fan of tart cherry juice. If you can get tart cherry juice, that's a great way to help you build up your melatonin levels and help you sleep. So what is your sleep hygiene practice? You might want to listen to a meditation or prayer or whatever it is that can help you wind down. And when you're managing your stress through those practices and other practices such as just mindfulness, walking in nature, maybe it's yoga for you, whatever helps you manage your stress, that will also help the health of your microbiome. And of course, staying active. Well, that's just a general must do in my book. Aiming for those 10,000 steps a day is great, but adding some resistance training in, and I will do a whole podcast just on resistance training. The other thing that you really need to consider in your lifestyle factors for your microbiome is your meal timing. If you structure your day around planned meals rather than constantly snacking, you can give your gut a bit of a break and support its natural rhythm as well. So, rising lemon juice in some warm water, good shot of apple cider vinegar if you can do it. It's definitely a great way to kickstart your day. Try not to reach for the coffee straight away. Have some hydration into your body. Make sure you're not skipping your breakfast. And, that's a great time to add a fruit salad with some Greek yogurt in it. Start the day right by adding in some plants into your morning. I am not an anti-coffee person. Definitely not. In fact, there is research to show that a couple of cups of black coffee, don't add too much sugar into it, definitely does help your microbiome. So don't have to ditch the coffee altogether. Maybe just don't reach for it first thing. And, I just want to say that as research is progressing, we are learning so much more about how to fine-tune the microbiome. And we're looking at microbiome targeted therapies. But for now, the best strategy is a whole food-based diet. So incorporating those resistant starches, those fermented foods, looking for that diversity of plant-based fibers, it's going to be the most effective way to nurture that healthy gut. So eating the rainbow, we spoke about that in the first episode, making sure you're looking at your plate over the course of the day to make sure you've got lots of different colours and varieties of plants coming into your body. And make a game of it. Maybe try a different plant each week. There's different beans, there's exotic fruits. Having a bit of variety is key. And of course, hydration is important because your gut microbes need the water to do their job effectively. When you go into the supermarket or wherever you're buying your fruit and veg, just pick something that you wouldn't normally do. Learn how to prepare it. You might find that you really, really love it. I know asparagus is one that a lot of people don't generally buy, but once you learn how to cook it, whether it's steaming it or frying it up, it's absolute char grilling. It's absolutely beautiful and so delicious and nutritious. So thank you for joining me on part 2 of Gut Instinct. Remember that your microbiome is not just a part of you, it's an integral partner in your health and well-being. And so making small intentional changes, you really can support your gut and enjoy those benefits of improved digestion, better metabolism, and even enhanced mood and energy. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Pop through to my website, mydaysofhealth.com. You can shoot me an email from there. Until next time, keep nurturing your microbiome and living your healthiest life. Thanks for joining me.